Hey everyone, Manero here, and in this video I'm going to reveal what my art challenge and Procreate freebies for the month of December are going to be about. So let's jump right into it. But first I want to say thank you to everyone who participated on last month's challenge. I had a blast seeing all your awesome submissions and the incredible and healthy sense of community you guys keep promoting by liking, sharing and commenting on other artists' submissions. You can search by the hashtag Manero challenge on Instagram and Twitter, but mostly on Instagram, to check all the incredible artworks and give their creators some love. If you don't know what my challenge of the month is, basically I provide you with a free and exclusive Procreate brush every month, a color palette, and an art prompt. The challenge is to draw or paint something based on the prompt, using only the brush and the color palette provided. To join the fun, you can post your art on social media using the hashtags Manero brushes and Manero challenge, and feel free to include this image in your post. I will be sharing your awesome creations with my audience. You can find the link to download these freebies in the description below. The prompt for December is ho ho ho. I always feel like December's theme should be Christmas related, so I thought it would be cool to stay simple this year and draw Santa Claus. I think since it is such a simple concept, it would be cool to see what everyone's take on the character is going to be. In my case, I asked my friend Mario Lara to take a selfie for me so that I could use it as reference for Santa's facial features, and I'm really happy that this idea turned out better than I even expected. I started by using this month's free brush to do a general sketch of my friend's face, especially trying to get his expression right, maybe even more than the likeness. It's cool if the likeness is a little bit there, but I'm not really focusing on that too much, as I'm just using it as a starting point for my Santa Claus depiction. But I think he captured the exact facial expression I was looking for with his photo, so I wanted to put my efforts on reflecting that. When I had the basic head structure, I could then deviate from the photo by adding the big beard and the characteristic hat. Here I started considering to add some kind of graphic element to the composition, and I thought some kind of circle behind the portrait would be nice. But then I came up with the idea of making that circular shape with a couple of Christmas ornaments instead of just a plain circle, and I really liked how it looked. When I was happy with my sketch, I lowered the opacity of the layer and started doing the final line work on a new layer. This month's free Procreate brush was really enjoyable for me. It feels a little bit like a fine felt tip marker that is barely starting to wear out, giving you just the right amount of texture if you press lightly, but a thicker and more black line if you press harder. It felt super nice to work with. As for my inking, I was trying to make every line count so that my drawing felt precise but organic at the same time. I also felt free to use the same brush with the eraser tool anytime I wanted to refine the shape of some of my lines. I really liked how the beard and the white parts of the hat turned out, as I did them with these round shapes that really make them look thick and fluffy. For the most part, I used thin lines where I wanted to specify the details with higher precision, and then I increased the thickness by passing over again in some areas or even adding thicker shadows in the lower parts. For the coloring process, I first selected the whole thing so I could use alpha lock, as I always do in all my videos. Then I started to render the shadows in Santa's face. This brush is also great for the rendering part, since it allows you to control the flow and the amount of texture by pressing harder or lighter. I used the lighting information from the photo reference to paint the shadows in the face and also the highlights. I of course used only the colors available in this month's free color palette. I added a little bit of pink in the skin, especially in the cheeks, where the blood is more concentrated. I also painted a tiny bit of red in the lips to make them look a bit warmer than the rest of the face. For the eyes, I used the brown and gold colors in the palette. With the general rendering of the face finished, I duplicated the layer, I filled it with red, and I used the selection tool to remove the skin parts. This way I was left with a new layer that contained only the beard and the hat. Then I duplicated the layer again and did the same to separate the beard and the white parts from the red part of the hat. And I also separated the red parts from the green parts for the Christmas ornaments. With all these parts separated on their own layers and with Alpha Lock activated, I could then focus on rendering piece by piece. I started with the red part of the hat, then the white parts. As you can see, I use the selection tool from time to time to isolate even more specific areas within those shapes. Here I locked the alpha in the inking lines so I could color a couple of spots in them, like the inner reflections in the glasses or the lines in the eyebrows, which gave them a softer look. Then I painted the ornaments, giving the red balls some highlights and adding a black circle behind the figure. For the last touch, I added a new layer on top of the skin in multiply mode. I lowered the opacity and I used the darker red color to add a few darker shadows in the face. And this is the final result. I really hope you liked this video and that you decide to join the fun. I can't wait to see what you guys will create this month. Of course, if you have any questions after watching this video, feel free to ask in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more art related videos and give me a thumbs up. Also, make sure to check out my Gumroad page where you will find the challenge of the month freebies and many other brush sets for Procreate that I have available. I'm sure something will suit your artistic needs. All the links are in the description below. Okay, thank you for watching. See you next time.